This will be the largest group of assembled fans in the Western Hemisphere. That's why they need a big house. Welcome to Ann Arbor, home of the Michigan Wolverines. And boy, do we have a fun one ahead. Top 10 team, target on their back, going on their road and right into the snake pit. As we'll see a team fresh and ready to go off a bye week, the Ole Miss Rebels, taking on the 25th ranked team in the land, the Michigan Wolverines. For EA Sports College Football, Reese Davis with you alongside David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, can't wait to get this one started. The Rebels will kick it off to get us underway. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. So the Michigan Wolverines offense takes the field for the first time today. And here's the man they rally around, and he has earned that type of respect, David.
You dang right. You earn it by doing it, and he's done it at such a high level. Everyone believes in this young man, and Palmer, there's a reason why.
You're right, David. He's been in the big moments, and he's won the big games. This guy delivers when the game is on the line.
They shut it down quickly, but he gets 2 out to the 18. This is the kind of game, a top 25 matchup in the early season that you look for when you're trying to build your resume.
Yeah, these are so fun because as a player, you kind of get bored if you don't get challenged. But when you got an early season challenge like this, all the adrenaline, all the juice, Palmer, you're ready to rock and roll.
I love this. We've had this game circled.
What a snag by the defense. And it's going to be a pick 6. Touchdown, Ole Miss.
What a play by the defense, coming out early in the game on the very first drive and setting the tone. Not just forcing a 3 and out, not just forcing a punt. How about creating a turnover and taking it to the house? Pick 6.
He'll start the return inside his 5. Good job by the coverage unit to put a stop to that return. Michigan ready to get that offense rolling again. Well, the good news is they threw a touchdown pass last time. It was just to the wrong team, Jesse.
Well, that's an unfortunate part of the game for quarterbacks, but guess what? They do.
He's off to the races. And they'll do more than move the chains. They'll move that thing more than 30 yards down the field before he's finally stopped. What an impact from that last explosive play. They were pinned down in their own territory. Now 1st and 10 from their own 45. From the gun, they'll give it on the inside. At the 45 on his way. He got a bunch and looked close to getting a lot more, but he's got the first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. They'll leave it with him. And he'll pick up 1. It brings up 2nd and 9. SEC versus the Big Ten. They compete at everything. They try to outspend each other, and they certainly want to beat each other on the field.
So many national championships, so many Heisman Trophy winners shared between these two conferences, David. Everybody gets excited when the Big Ten takes on the SEC.
And these games matter so much. The fans get so amped up, so juiced up, to the point where we hear in the stands what? SEC. SEC. They wouldn't say that if conference pride wasn't a real thing.
And this junior quarterback shows you why the scouts love that big arm of his. Used to play fake, now to throw. And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces 2nd down.
You know, it's difficult for QBs sometimes when you're throwing to your running backs because they're not receivers. You really got to be perfect with the ball placement. You got to make that a catchable throw. A little bit too tough for the...
Looking for the end zone. And they can't hook up. Going for the big play on 2nd down. Now it's 3rd down. They line up, and it is a long way to the sticks from here. On 3rd and long, trying to have a big completion here. He makes the connection. He gets it oh so close to the 1st down marker, but I think he's going to be a touch short. Now on 4th down, here comes the field goal team. And this one only 35 yards out, but not straight away. This one from the left hash. It's good. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Guys, right back to your game after we update the nation on this one. Ball State came away with the victory today, but not in dominant fashion. In fact, the folks in Muncie had to sweat things out for much of the second half. Could have been better, but certainly could have been worse. It's one game. You don't want to react too much either way, but I think both teams will leave this one with some things to work on moving forward.
Kevin, thanks a lot for that one. Sounds as if they had a good one there. Finds his big tight end. And he was loose and in the open field and on his way. A tremendous pickup on that one. Big play to start this drive, and they're already out at the 48. It's first down. Leaves it with the running back. You'll take this every time. 5 yards on the first down play.
5 to 6 yards a pop. I don't know if you guys are really good at math, but that usually equals a first down every couple carries. So don't forget about the run game. Keep them honest. Pound that rock.
Now the quarterback changing the original play call. Here they're trying to get to the edge. Rolls his way forward. Wrestled to the ground after picking up the first down.
And already this guy is leaving his mark on this game. Opening drive, back-to-back runs where he's found a way to get positive yards. He was able to pick up the first on that last carry. They should keep feeding him the football. The more success they have, it's going to open up the play-action game.
I know it's sexy to throw the football, but if you can pound it away and get these kind of gains, they will just add up, wear the defense down, get first downs, and ultimately get some points.
They'll run it to the right. Makes the tackle at the 27. It's a pickup of 5 and enough for the first down.
And that's back-to-back now. We've seen this running back get it done on their opening drive of the game. That last carry got the first down. So if I'm the offensive coordinator right now, I love the way my O-line's playing, and I love the way this guy's toting the rock. I'm going to give it to him again.
Wide receiver shows motion. Looking to go up top on first down. Fires to the right. A strike downfield. Touchdown, Rebels! A great catch and run for 6.
Man, this offense has started the season off so good. 1-0 a week ago, right? Now building on it again. Great job putting points on the board. It's still the first half, but this unit looks dialed in.
Looking for blockers. And good work by the coverage team to get the return man down on the ground. Guys, here come those maize and blue winged helmets on offense. It's always great to get points on a drive, but it would behoove them to try to get a touchdown this time around, Palmer.
They may have to get out of their comfort zone here too, David, a little bit, and just start being more aggressive and take some chances, but that's what's going to have to happen for them to win this game.
Yeah, and when you're losing, obviously everything gets heightened. Everything becomes more critical. This drive is crucial because you've got to cut into this deficit and put some points on the board.
He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
You know when you're playing against a defense of this caliber, you're going to have some sort of balance, right? You can't just drop back and throw it every single play. Nothing going on that last run. They're going to have to find another way to get it going and hand him the ball.
And the pass rush is effective, and they tackle him at the 19.
And a great job by the defense, dropping in zone coverage, all eyes on the quarterback, taking away the options, and then finally the pass rush gets home, gets him on the ground.
Gets open down the middle. And he's not going to get there. The defense stands tall and makes the stop. And the Wolverines will try to pin them back with the punt. He only needs a sliver of daylight. The coverage team was down there to corral him. They made the stop, and they'll mark it at the 39. Ole Miss ready to send the offense onto the field. Boy, David, they would love to stack another touchdown on top of that last drive.
And this offense did such a good job on the last drive. Everything in rhythm, moved the ball down the field, didn't make those mistakes, Jesse, and they need to do it again on this one.
Yeah, you're right. They had the defense on their heels. You wonder what sort of communication was going on that sideline. What sort of changes were they able to make, because they got to stop the bleeding right now.
Here comes the offense on first down. We've come to the end of the period, and Ole Miss is on top. Man, that was an impressive and dominant first quarter. Let's take a look at the stats before we move on. First down to start the drive after the break. They go to the ground. You'll take 4 yards on first down every time, 2nd and 6.
Just a simple power play. Power football. Be strong, be big, be physical. Make it a fourth quarter game. Make them feel you, but keep them off balance.
Makes the grab over the middle. And he's knocked down immediately, but not before he moves the chains. And the Rebels have it with a 1st and 10. He wants to throw. Snares it outside. It's Lockett. And he goes out of bounds after a nice pickup on that one. Let's see what they've got on 2nd down. Fast motion from the offense. Power football with the run. They wrestle him to the ground, but he's got plenty for a 1st down.
You know, the RPO game now in college football really puts the defense in a bind, and it forces them just to freeze a half second as they try to distinguish between the running back and the quarterback. Who's keeping the football? On that play, it was the running back, and he made him pay.
Got some room headed to the goal line. And he'll take this into the end zone, but hang on just a second. Flag down. Let's see what this is about. They say you could call holding on every play. Well, they did on that one. 1st down here for the offense. He wants to throw it. Unleashes one deep. And good coverage and better hands by the defender to knock it down in the end zone.
DB does an outstanding job here on the deep pass. Locating the football, no PI, able to swat it away passing control.
He's looking for a man on 2nd down. That pass is incomplete, and they might be fortunate it wasn't knocked free for a fumble. It'll be 3rd down.
And screens are all about timing, right? You want to invite the defensive line to fly up the field, and then you want to throw it right over their head. And you could tell just a little bit off, and the defense got in there so quick, got the quarterback hit before he could really get his bearings and throw the screen.
On 3rd and long, doesn't need to take the check down. And it's caught. Touchdown, Ole Miss. No step back at week 3. They have been sharp as they extend the lead. And with the extra point, they're on top by 18.
Nice job by the quarterback finding the big fella in the end zone. He's going to find a hole. He's going to find an opening. That guy's, you got to trust him, and I'm going to throw it up and let him make a play like he did right there.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. And here comes the Michigan offense back on the field. They've been pretty much stifled on offense so far, David, only able to muster 3 points in their previous 3 drives.
And you got to find a way to open this up and create some explosive plays. The passing game is obviously the easiest way. Jesse, put more speed on the field. Find those guys down the field.
And you know they're frustrated, too, because they felt like there were some matchups they could take advantage of to get some points on the board early. In this one, they just haven't been able to connect on those opportunities. But I like David's idea. Maybe move some guys around and see if you can create some better one-on-one matchups.
Hand off to the single running back. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
And defense nowadays, they don't look at stats of what is the yards per rush. They look at how many negative plays they can create. Because why? Now you look at 2nd down, man, it just became very predictable for this offense. Nice job on rating the loss on 1st down.
This defense has got to get better at tackling in the open field of game tackling, because if you need 3 or 4 guys to bring a guy down, have fun with that.
On 3rd and long, he has to throw for it. Fires the pass, intercepted. Bringing it back. He's at the 20. And he has taken it all the way back. Touchdown, Rebels. Look, a lot of time left. There's a little bit of distance right now being put on the scoreboard.
There is, but it's so awesome when you're a defense and you study all week about what's coming and what routes to be ready for, and then you jump the route and you make the plays and you just go get in that end zone. It is so Beautiful.
And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. Michigan ready to get that offense rolling again. The big thing now, don't get rattled by that last pick six, David.
Nah, it was a big mistake. Obviously, the defense took advantage of it, but you got to put it behind you. Jesse, I'm sure you know a thing or two about throwing pick six and how to rebound.
Life, but yes, I do, because of that singular instance. I'll say this. You can't let that play beat you twice. You got to go out and not try to get it all back here in one play. Just execute the offense.
It's complete. And they are pushing the ball down the field. A big pickup on that one as the tackle was finally made. Finally, this offense starting to shake the cobwebs and get things moving. It's 1st and 10. And the rush will get to him at the 25.
When it's a play-action pass, that quarterback, he really has to sell the fake. He can't tell his offensive lineman's getting beat right away while he's selling the fake. He had no shot.
Second down here, and maybe they've got time to get what? Before the 2-minute warning. We've made our way to the 2-minute warning, and now they'll try to at least cut a little something off of this lead before the break. On second down, wants to throw. And that's not the way they drew it up. It's incomplete.
You got to give the defense a lot of credit, man, because they've come into this hostile environment. They've quieted the crowd down with some of the plays they're making. They've got a nice lead right here, and they're making it hard for this quarterback to go to work.
Couldn't find a man and just had to throw it away to avoid a negative play. And the field goal unit is on the field. The kicker will try to punch one through from 41 yards away. And the kicker delivers the 3 to salvage that drive. After that last field goal drive, they're set to kick it away. Here's the return from inside his 10. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. The Ole Miss offense ready to go back to work. This has been an impressive first half, and Jesse, they'd love nothing better than to tack another one on before the break.
Why would they want to stop at this point? Everything they've dialed up, they've been able to execute, throwing and running the football.
And how critical is it for this defense to get a stop down right now? They can create some momentum on their side by getting a stop before the half.
A strong tackle and wrap up from the junior. We've got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break.
They're strong and they're strong. Defensive tackles, they're strong. There's such big jokers in the middle where they just lock out those offensive linemen. And running backs, listen, they don't have much of a chance when you got that 300-plus pound guy grabbing you around the shoulder pad. You tend to go to the ground pretty quickly.
On third down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. Going over the top. Right on the money to the outside. He dragged the toe, and how about the ball placement? Only the receiver could get it. The Rebels will snap it on 1st and 10. Quarterback making adjustments with his receivers. Looking to move it through the air. Hit hard as he released the ball on that first down pass, and it never had a chance.
Doesn't take this defense a lot of time to get to the quarterback, man. They've got speed all over the place. They hit him so quickly, and because of that, the ball falls incomplete.
He'll try to do it himself. Gives him a little shake, and he's got some room. And he scoots his way to the first down and then slides to avoid the hit. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. He'll do it himself. He turns this into a nice gain and gets down to avoid the hit.
Well, this is one of the fastest quarterbacks in college football, and that's why the option's a good idea. Because if he can get out in space and he has a chance to get downfield, he is really difficult to tackle, and he's very difficult to catch, as you saw in that last play, getting a first down.
They'll pick up 4, 2nd and 6 coming.
That's a really nice play. It's impressive. When it's first down, the defense thinks you might be running the football. You still can line up. You can get some movement at the point of attack and find a little crease for your running back.
Gets it out quickly. He is stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose yards on that one.
Nice job by the defense staying getting him on the ground as soon as he catches the football. Knowing he's a threat, I'm not going to let this guy get out of my sights. Nice job by the defense.
On 3rd down, he drops the throw. And it's incomplete despite some serious arm strength shown there. And they're going to head out the line up for a field goal. And this one will be a 40-yard try from the left hash. Splits the uprights right down the middle. And that will extend their lead even further. So they get the field goal, now about to kick it away, and you get a stop here, and you go to halftime feeling really good about things. Guys, here come those maize and blue wing helmets on offense. Jesse, they had to kick a field goal the last time they had it.
Yeah, and oftentimes early in games, you're just trying to find your rhythm. Some things work, some don't on that first drive, David. Be interesting to see what happens here on the second drive.
Yeah, you got a feel for the defense now. You understand what they're trying to do, what their game plan is. Now you get to go into phase 2 of your game plan.
That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin in our halftime update.
Guys, tough to beat the pageantry and quality of play so far today in Ann Arbor. And we'd be remiss if we didn't start this halftime report by acknowledging the sparkling play of this tight end. The guy's like an aircraft carrier out there as a blocker. And then when he releases and shows off that speed and route running, he's almost unguardable. Gotta believe he won't be able to go anywhere in this second half without someone attached to his hip.
Ole Miss ready to send the offense onto the field. Line gets set, first down. Touch pass on the jet sweep. He's past the 30. Can anyone catch him? The 30. He's at the 10. Touchdown, Ole Miss. And the route is on.
That's number 2 on the day, having a day. I mean, you know he's going to catch the football, and you know he's going to make plays after he catches. Those are the kind of guys that you feature and you find them, and they produce like this, you keep finding them.
We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
All right, guys, a little update on what else is happening in college football this weekend. Rutgers is currently working from behind, but how many times have we said that and then witnessed something special happen? This time of year, you just never know. It's just a field goal game. They're trailing by 3 to Kansas State. Any big developments in this one, we've got you covered with the best studio team in the business, gentlemen.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere.
I like the decision by the quarterback here. Just get the ball out of your hands, get it to your playmaker. A lot of times he'll dance and make even bigger plays than he did here, but it's still a positive game.
Throws to the wideout. He's got it. He will step out of bounds, but not before the big pickup and a first down for this offense. A new set of downs after the completion. They'll put the tight end in motion. Off the play fake on first down, wants to throw. Quickly to the tight end. And they'll shove him out of bounds after the short gain. The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. Offense set on first down. Quick completion to the right. And he earns a first down, and boy, did he earn it after taking that lift. The Wolverines with the 1st and 10. Pulls it and fires to the left. He's run out of bounds, but a big play on that one, and it'll be a first down. Using Forcing him out of the slot, he has just been unstoppable.
And I love putting dynamic athletes in the slot that I can move around, that I can put in motion, that I can make him go in or out. I can put him off the ball so you can't get hands on him, and they've really featured this guy today.
Couldn't really get started there. Pick up a 1 to the 35. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Out of the gun, the running back has it. He breaks a tackle. Productive 4-yard gain there on the ground as he gets it down to the 31. Ball at the 31, 3rd and short coming. Defense trying to rise up. Now they'll run the draw. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
Keep the foot on the pedal if you're on offense here. You got that yardage. Yeah, you didn't get the first down, but you've set yourself up now to go for it here and keep this drive alive.
Here comes the field goal unit as they'll try to take the 3. He'll need to strike this one cleanly from 48 yards out. Knocked it right through, showing that big range from 48 yards out. After putting 3 on the board, the kickoff unit ready to go. Set to kick it away. Here he comes from inside his own 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. The Ole Miss offense ready to go back to work. Boy, that last touchdown, the one-play quick strike scored. Jesse, this offense hoping to keep that kind of explosiveness going.
And I don't know if they're going to get the same looks defensively because of just how explosive that play was, Reese. They may be seeing a little bit more off coverage on this drive, maybe some softer boxes for us.
And when you make that kind of explosive play, you're going to put the defense on its heels. They're going to be a little bit more conservative. So this offensive approach now, maybe I don't have to go deep. I can go a little bit shorter and just make those easy plays underneath.
At the 35, he's open. And he'll have enough for the first down at the 42.
And that's all you want, right? You want that first down, understand the situation, understand I got to get north and south, get a first down, get a new set of downs.
They'll snap this one from the 42. It's 1st and 10. Use the play fake. Now to throw. Going for the big play. And it's knocked away. And incomplete. The defensive back staying in phase and batting it away. Quarterback and running back set up in the pistol.
This is going to be a key that we look at this entire game. How can this defense find ways to affect this quarterback and get pressure on him? Because they felt coming into the game, if they could do that, they could affect him and influence this passing game.
Stopping the run is very high on every defensive coordinator's list. Making the team one-dimensional. Nice job stuffing the run on that play right there.
On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it. Makes a connection. And a big gain there. He's knocked down immediately at the 45.
And that's a really good example of why offensive coordinators script plays. You know the down and distance, and you know which routes can get you to the stick. So there's no wasted time. That coordinator got the play in early to his quarterback, knowing that his players were going to be able to execute.
Oh, he had it right down the middle, and it just squirted right through his fingers, and they missed an opportunity for a nice play on first down. Ball still at the 45 after the incompletion. They'll snap it 2nd and 10. They'll run it out of the shotgun. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
Yeah, and listen, the offense has had their way, and they've had so much success and so much production. But listen, at least the defense got a rep. You know, maybe this gets you a spark. Maybe this gets you some energy. Maybe we'll see a little bit more life from this defense.
Yeah, they may not win the game, but I think this defensive coaching staff at this point, based on how this game has gone, they're just trying to find things to build off of. Maybe that's something they can point to as they get ready for their next opponent, of things they did right and things that they got to do more consistently moving forward.
Just inside the red zone. 1st and 10 from the 19. They're threatening to score, and they'll throw it. Fires on the move. He's got it. Takes it all the way down to the floor after making the grab, and they're set up. And the Rebels trying to pay off the threat on 1st and goal. Looking to the end zone. Can't make the grab as he was looking for his man right at the goal line.
Sometimes as a quarterback, when you're feeling your rhythm, you're feeling yourself, you just want to keep taking shots, right? This guy's already thrown 3 touchdown passes. He saw a look he liked, decided to let her fly. Haven't seen a lot of balls falling complete, especially deep down the field. That one did, but I'd expect this guy to keep letting it go.
Can the D deny them on 2nd and goal?
Jackrabbit.
Quarterback will keep it. Nowhere to run on that one. He loses 4 on the carry.
I love when you start bringing linebackers up near the line of scrimmage and you start sending them, because those guys have serious speed. They can come catch anybody up and down the line of scrimmage. The linebacker, you could tell, he had a good clue what was going on. He knew it was a run play, fired, pulled the trigger, came downhill, and attacked the running back.
Time winding down in the quarter as they come to the line.
Easy.
Trying to make their way to the promised land on 3rd and goal. There to make the tackle, and with that, we'll head to the 4th quarter. We've come to the end of the period, and Ole Miss is on top. And they've built a comfortable lead after 3 quarters of play. Let's take a look at how we've gotten here. So will the beatdown continue, or is this a comeback for the ages in store? We'll see as we start the 4th.
Okay, ready?
The big fellas line up in a goal line defense.
Here we go.
Looks as if he's going to run it. He's not going to get there. Stop short on 4th down.
This is so Jesse Carter. Exactly what he would do. Continue to put the foot in the accelerator, try to rub it in. Can't win by enough. Got to look good in the pole.
Had nowhere to go, couldn't get it out of the end zone. He'll take the safety. So after giving up the deuce on the safety, now they'll be able to kick it away without a rush from the 20.
The return brings it out to the 38, and the Ole Miss offense will take it.
Ole Miss ready to send the offense onto the field. They've got it back after that last drive stalled out, and they were stopped on 4th down, David.
Yeah, and they put a little bit of a drive together, but Jesse, they stalled on the other side of the field, and they got to find a way to keep that momentum going as they get closer to the end zone.
I agree. I do like their mindset, though, and I think they need to continue being aggressive there for this game.
Welcome to the frustrating reality of college football. Like, the guy at the quarterback spot, he can just do that. Pull it down, get positive yards, makes the defense have to account for him every single play.
They weren't able to get that one off. It'll be a delay of game.
Delay of game. Offense.
Offense took a little bit too much time at the line there. And here comes the offense on 2nd down.
29 Philly.
The give to the tailback. They'll get it to the 48. No need to measure. It's a 1st down.
Well, I know this is an offensive line that has a ton of pride, and they want to come out each and every game and really impose their will on the D-line. They got just enough push there on that run play to pick up the first.
Man, that's a great job by this offense. And I'll tell you what, 4th quarter, you have the lead. That's exactly what you want to do. Lean on these guys, run the football, eat that clock.
He unleashes a long one. Grabs it inside the 15. Touchdown, Rebels. And the punishment has been extended. They add on to this lead, and it looks as if they'll be moving to 2-0. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
2 very different emotions inside the locker rooms of these teams who did battle today. Florida State was able to come away with the victory, but it was not the type of dominant win we've seen in Tallahassee over the years. A win, yes, but this one lacked style. outcome, and certainly a game with implications far beyond just the standings, fellas.
And Kevin Connors keeping an eye on everything all over the country. Sounds like they had a good one there. Now on second down after the incompletion.
And that's just the kind of game it's been for this quarterback in this offense. You got a great game plan all week long. You're watching it throughout practice. You think you're going to have a chance to light up the scoreboard, but they're just not able to hook up. You've got to give this defense a ton of credit. They've done a great job in coverage. They've been breaking on passes. They've had their number, and that's why they're leading by as much as they are.
Comes out throwing on first down. And those two couldn't make the connection. It's an incomplete pass. Here they come to try it again on 2nd and 10 from the 29. Back to the air one more time. They get him up rush, and it pays off. The sack at the 20. I'm not positive, but that first down marker might be in the next county. On 3rd and long, hoping to throw beyond the sticks. It's caught downfield. They make the stop, but there is a flag on the field. We'll see what that's all about.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense.
So the offense gets an automatic first down after the roughing the passer penalty.
Okay, ready?
And the Wolverines come to the line with a new set of downs.
Slap.
He's looking to throw it. They're bringing heat. Good job to avoid the negative play and just get rid of that thing. 2nd down coming up.
In blue. In blue. Reload.
After the incompletion, they go back up top. Pass rush coming after the quarterback, and they get him at the 32. This is a 3rd and long.
Green 25.
He's looking downfield to throw. And the pass hits, picked off. Got room on the return. He'll go out of bounds, but he gets the ball back, takes it the other way, and he has created a great sudden change opportunity. The Ole Miss offense ready to go back to work. With this big cushion they're working with, Jesse, they're ready to send these fans toward the exits.
And you know the coaching staff has got to be so happy with how this offense has been able to come out here on the road, fight the crowd noise, and execute at such a high level, Dave.
Yeah, just dominate the football game. And now, listen, it's mode where I can run the football, run out the clock, watch this game go to zeros and get the done. And this is exactly where you're going to be as an offensive coordinator. Like when you've got the lead late in the football game, just run the football, eat the clock. Man, they put a good day together. They've had their way with this defense. A lot of positive things to point to. This is one of those weeks when you watch tape, it's going to be really fun to watch it. Not like when you get beat up. A lot of big plays from this offense.
They're down to the 32-yard line on 1st and 10. Motion from the offense. Snagged in the middle. It's Rocket. They make the tackle, but he's got a fresh set of downs, and it's 1st and goal from the 7.
Well, the play fake on the RPO bought the receiver some time to work himself open on the route. That was a man-to-man coverage on the defense. Nice job by the receiver putting his foot in the ground and separating.
This is what you're looking for when you have the better team. Go out and show it. Don't fool around with them. Go out and play to a standard of excellence.
Just dominate. You know you're going to take care of business. You know you're going to win. It's like how many? How many can I win by? And I like that you keep your foot on the gas and just continue to pile it on. It's their job to stop you. Let them do their job. You just keep going over.
It's not about the X's and the O's. It's the Jimmies and the Joes. This is why recruiting is so important in college football. They just had better players. More physical. They were faster, and it showed.
So that's going to do it for us. For Jesse Palmer, David Pollack, I'm Reese Davis saying so long. This has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.